All right, welcome everyone. We are Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for Asobi Asobase, episode 6.
6 to follow right after the failure in sex ed.
Yeah, indeed.
We had last episode.
Right.
But it was hilarious to watch. So was it really a failure? Was it really?
Yeah. If anything, can any of these girls truly be called a failure in that they solely exist to be the entertainment for
us? And they do a great job of that.
They really do.
Absolutely awful. And I love watching them.
Like they're some of the best, worst girls we've had since Konosuba.
Yeah,
like
basically.
They're right up there.
Oh,
And yet, in some ways, they're even like dumber because they're just younger, you know.
Well, and they're in such a normal environment that they're awful in normal ways, as opposed to all the extreme ways that the girls were in Konosuba.
Right.
Which just makes it even better. Yeah.
But yes, we've had a couple new characters showing up here and there.
We have indeed.
But looking forward to seeing how they continue on from that previous one and do more shenanigans and skits.
Yes.
So, y'all, without further ado, let's get into this. All right, everyone, now be sure to go check out the reaction portion of the video in the description below, and then come back here for the discussion.
Well, all right, another episode.
Another Maeda is just...
Maeda. Yeah.
Maeda.
Uh-huh.
So,
all right.
So good.
And again,
Hanako. Wow.
Yep.
Wow. I am impressed and also just terrified of you constantly.
Her shtick is something that I feel like we're very familiar with by now.
By now, yeah.
And yet, I do not tire of it being displayed.
I agree.
Because
I agree.
her being so anal about like very specific things, and then getting so frustrated when something doesn't go her way.
Oh man, it's really like I don't know why more anime haven't done this yet, but she's just like a really shitty kid, you know. And it's it's just great. I love
spoiled brat.
Right, I just love the Olivia, your BO that won't cutting your hair won't solve your BO, and she's like, what?
Yeah.
Wait, what? And then she's just like,
my memories are gone. Yeah. Like, and the whole thing of the cutting the hair. Oh man, because there are so many things that we do when we're young, right? Where we're like, yeah, this seems like a good idea.
Yeah, it's a great idea.
It's a great idea. How could this possibly go wrong? It goes very wrong.
It goes very wrong.
And even when it goes very wrong, we don't learn.
Nope.
We do not learn.
Unless there's like physical pain, most of the time we don't learn.
Well, okay, the story I told about the tinfoil ball, that goes to show that even when there is sometimes a great deal of physical pain and even danger to your life, you don't learn.
Jacob, Saturday, you know, being spent at the DMV is like the end of the world. Like, you know, when you're that age.
That is very true.
Time moves so slowly.
But there's things that other people do, and then there's things that you do, right?
True.
If you have to stay at the DMV with your parents or whatever, yes, that is hell, right? But if you get the idea that, you know what? I'm going to try and cut my hair. As soon as I cut it, oh God, that was a terrible idea. What did I just do? And this isn't like a guy cutting their hair where their hair's already like short usually, you know? So it's not as big of a deal, you know? It's the signs of it are gone a lot faster, probably. I don't know. Maybe it's different with long hair because like you're not cutting off as much of it percentage-wise. I don't know.
No, it's in some ways it's more dramatic actually, I would say, because it's percentage based. So in some ways I would say if your hair was already pretty short and you just started cutting it randomly, you're cutting off a larger percentage of the hair that you already have. Yeah. So it's
but
all...
you could just like go buzz, you know?
Yeah, but you still have to do that.
But you still have to do that.
You still have to do that.
But then immediately after, and I love how it was just as soon as the snip, it's like, what did I do? That was awful. Why did I do that? They continued to do this, two or three more times?
Yeah.
In the exact same instance, like as if that will somehow make it better.
Right.
Oh man.
Yeah. My favorite skit definitely was the hair cutting there, but I love Maeda's kind of insertion into the grades skit because the fact that Hanako succeeded, I would say, at something like this is really impressive, because one of the things that we've gotten about her character thus far is she kind of just expects everything to go her way. But the fact that she put in a lot of effort and was rewarded for it. She got the second highest scores in the exams.
Right.
Those are like,
that's the whole
big
school.
deal, you know?
Yeah.
So if that's, if that's something that she's not really proud of, that's a perfect thing for her shtick. But it's also something where we're like, hey, you did really good here.
Yep.
And then Maeda shows up and he's like, oh, yes. Oh, you're good. No, that girl's not going to get away with making it to the top canoodling with boys.
Yes.
First of all, canoodling, you're precious, Maeda. But then also the fact that Maeda does the confusing, like, you're trying to win and you're only like
in middle school.
And like you're trying to win at life or something, and then she's like, wait, are you being condescending? Or like yeah, do you think you've already won or lost at life in middle school? Hilarious. And she's like,
oh man,
are you making fun of me or are you cheering me up?
Yep. And it's kind of both, depending on your perspective. And the android, like, and actually, and showing that he knows about her interests. He knows how fascinated she is with whatever this thing is, or whatever your fingers are, elegant or whatever, something, but and at first she's like, oh, really? Like, and it even sounds like him and stuff, and he's talking to me. And then, of course, grandpa voice comes in, and she's like, no, nope, this is freaking me out.
The Hanako boner is down.
Yep.
Yeah. Not working out here.
Yeah, the fact that she was even talking about how she was like, I'm getting aroused just thinking about how I'll be way better than everyone else at school, and they'll all be, and I'll be just above them all. Like, oh my god.
Yeah, and then of course oh no, Hanako just gone for a little bit of time and murder.
Yep.
I mean, she is capable of it.
Definitely.
Quite a bit.
She did rip the head off of an android. I can't imagine that would be very easy.
Right.
Yep.
I love also how Olivia wanting to cut her hair is something that it's like, oh yeah, that's super relatable. Even though I've never had hair even close to that long, when I've had my hair long and it's like, ugh, god, and it goes to summertime, that's so bad. I can't imagine having like shoulder length hair.
Oh yeah,
or beyond that.
Also, what was that? Like, Olivia, you would have looked great in a ponytail. Why didn't you just do that? Like,
she said that it makes it actually worse.
Oh, like, because it like tightens it up around the head, basically?
Yeah, so it just keeps her just as hot, or makes it actually worse. Yeah,
okay, I could get that, I suppose.
Yeah, I totally get that. But also her whole thing of then, oh, wait, I could do it this way with the hairband. And it's like, oh, that's
works.
Cute.
Yeah.
And then, of course, because it's anime, there are no blemishes on the skin.
Right.
But then she actually mentions, oh, wait, my acne, I can't do that. That was probably one of the most, like, realistic...
Hashtag relatable.
Yeah, hashtag relatable things that these girls have had to deal with recently. And then after that, she's immediately just like, like covering.
I can't leave this room ever.
Right, but that's not only something that applies to her bangs. She's also kind of being like, yeah, that's, my acne. I don't want people to see that and stuff. But this skit continued on the whole way. So this will be one of those things where, Olivia is going to constantly have just weird bangs for the rest of the show.
I love that they called her sensei. They were like, oh yeah, sensei. Oh, sorry. And she's like, how did you even think that? Well, see, your bangs look exactly the same.
Also, the way this show baited us with the wholesome sadness of, oh my god, this adorable girl being like, hey, if I end up disappearing, it's just because of my transportation magic. I've gotten really good at it.
It finally worked. Yeah.
She's like, oh, Agrippa, you're so, like, ambitious. Right. And then she, like,
and then she believed it. She believed it. Like the whole thing about the happy lie, you know, with the OP and ED. No, this was it.
This was it
in the story, right?
But then it was just hemorrhoids, which is hilarious in a...
Like, that's what it was,
Well, just hemorrhoids in general, in my opinion, are kind of hilarious. Just
gotcha.
But just the fact that it's like, that's what it was. So she had to get surgery to remove them. Oh my gosh.
Like she, it wasn't like the traditional thing where it's the oh no, I'm going to die in 10 episodes,
Yeah.
Like no, it was all good. But she didn't know that.
No.
And then they did the whole voodoo thing, and they did everything except the butt. And that is why you always remember that if you do voodoo, you flip that doll over.
Yeah, you flip that doll over.
Yeah. Every square inch.
There are so many bad jokes I want to make right now. Oh man. Oh, but this episode had a lot. Yeah.
And Olivia. No, not that. Yeah,
okay.
You knew what you were talking about. And the fact that Olivia was like, just put them everywhere. Like, oh my God.
Olivia was on the right track.
Yep.
It's crazy to think, but yeah. Also, I just love these little points in which the teacher kind of gets into these awkward situations where she's like, did you put anything on the butt? Oh, wait, I should not have said that. I should not have said that. But it's like the fact that she willingly comes back to this little club of girls. She enjoys it. She likes the company.
I mean, we know what her life is like, more or less.
She's bored. She's lonely.
She reads about people, about purple bouquets and Porsches and, people that defend the earth from the moon, So,
hey, a friend's a friend.
Yep, exactly.
Even if they're as dumb as Hanako or as strangely you were sensing that Kasumi was aroused by the
they had her in perpetual blush.
I think it was an embarrassment thing.
Oh, okay, I wasn't sure.
Because you were she's
that's
aroused by it. I'm like,
no,
really?
Well,
she was blushing.
I always get it confused because she gets embarrassed really easily. That makes her blush.
Right.
But Olivia is the one who's in the closet. So
right.
I was thinking she's like, oh yes, physical exertion on something below the waist.
No, I think Kasumi's whole thing is she just loves everything about all sexual stuff to be inside her mind. Just all internalized.
The real question is then, was she doing her Chinese contortionist shit in order to basically stay, in the right position? Because she did say lower back muscles, and when she did the bend backwards thing,
oh my God,
she was bending, unnaturally.
Dude, that continuity there.
Yeah.
Yo,
this show knows
Jacob
what it's
tapped
about.
into some big brain stuff there.
Yeah.
That was good. But yeah, this was a really, really wacky episode.
Yep.
We talked about the android. We talked about the wholesome stuff at the beginning. I guess the main thing is that the exams being something that was a part of the reason as to why they got together in the first place. Meaning that Kasumi wanted to have Olivia teach her English.
Yep.
Olivia didn't want to admit that she's not really able to speak English.
Yeah, I feel like Olivia doesn't even really want to be in school.
Yeah, actually that kind of makes sense. Yeah.
I love
she's the transfer student, right?
Exactly.
She's,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I love that Honda was like, if you just wait till a week before, you're going to be in trouble. And she's like, oh, I just crammed the night before.
Also, I guess the little game at the end where they're trying to pull people out of the ring. I don't think I've ever played this game, but I literally think I've seen people.
I think I've
played this type of thing before.
I remember playing it when I was really young, and if you play it in an area with carpet.
Yes, I was going to say.
You get.
Don't do that.
Full rug burns.
Don't do that.
Because eventually it's nope, you're doing good, but then they just pull you and you go flying.
And the thing is, then your shirt on the back goes just up.
And you just bye-bye. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, circle games like this, though, like Tug of War.
I prefer Red Rover.
That is such a...
when you can resolve your differences just by clotheslining people you don't like,
The worst part is that it's you have a friend that's locking arms with you. They give up, but you don't give up on them. They actually nearly break their arm
because it's Frodo and Sam from Return of the King. Don't you let go.
I'm letting go.
Nope,
let go. Reach.
And they're like, no, please.
And they're like their arms are like kind of spaghetti noodles, and yours like actually have some muscle on them. You're basically just using them as a line. So their whole body like kind of boing, like bounces backwards.
You pull their arm more towards you, so it's just hitting more of their arm. So
that's evil.
You holding on to them rather than them actually needing to hold on.
No, because I wouldn't do that if they were giving up. What I would do is I'd basically they try and pull away and pull you towards them, and then you basically just kind of like lock in like this,
with
and
just a little bit of bend in the elbow,
and then you bend and kind of contort around the stomach of the person, and then you basically just let them fall down with you, and then that whole line behind you just kind of like dominoes over.
Yeah.
Anyways,
good days.
Kids games played, not safe at all, really.
No, totally safe. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Nobody ever got hurt.
But y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get on early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access. So you can chat with us and the community there about this show, about anime in general. You can also talk with Jacob about the sci-fi novel that he wrote.
Yes. I wrote a sci-fi novel. It's called Battle Lines. And yeah, if you're interested, it's on Amazon. Link in the description.
Yeah, so if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.